All right, so today we're going to dive into something pretty interesting.
Okay.
It's the upcoming USD1 stablecoin airdrop by WLFI.
Press.
Now, based on the analysis that you provided
Oh, yes.
of their launch strategy,
Mm-hmm.
it kind of jumped out at me right away as being more than just, a typical token giveaway.
Yeah.
So what is it about this particular airdrop
Okay.
that makes it stand out in the crypto world?
Well, what's really interesting is the way they're combining
Okay.
their infrastructure testing with marketing.
Mm-hmm.
So they're basically using the mainnet as like a live environment.
Got it.
And by making it a public event where people get actual rewards,
Yeah.
The USD1 tokens.
Right.
It's almost like they're gamifying user adoption.
Yeah.
And they're doing it at a scale that we haven't seen before.
Okay, so when you say live environment, you mean like it's not a test net, it's actually happening?
Exactly. It's happening on the mainnet.
Got it.
So they're essentially doing a production level stress test.
With a large group of people.
Yes. So instead of just having a small group of testers, they're opening it up to a much wider audience.
Mm-hmm.
And they're seeing how their systems handle all these real world conditions.
So what are some of the things that they're testing here?
Well, for example, they're testing the gas mechanisms on mainnet,
Okay.
which is really important because, gas fees can be unpredictable
Yeah, for sure.
and that can affect the user experience a lot.
Absolutely.
So by watching how this all plays out during the airdrop, they can make adjustments
Got it.
in a real live setting,
In real time.
Exactly. And they're also testing their wallet infrastructure, the eligibility processes, and, their capacity to handle a ton of users all at once.
So it's not just about, testing the tech side of things.
No, not at all.
It seems like they're also using this airdrop as a very clever marketing ploy.
Absolutely.
I mean, they're getting the USD1 stablecoin right into people's hands even before the official launch. So it's almost like a really, really functional free sample.
That's a great way to put it. It's about building trust and familiarity
Yeah.
because users get to actually experience the USD1 directly.
They can play around with it.
Exactly. and the way they're distributing it with a fixed amount per eligible wallet,
Yeah.
that's a smart move.
Okay, why is that?
Well, it promotes a sense of fairness.
Right?
Prevents the whales, the big holders, from dominating everything at the beginning.
I see.
And that can really help to create a more positive community spirit.
Makes a lot of sense.
It does.
Now, we can't ignore the elephant in the room here.
Sure.
The Trump family is involved.
Yes, they are.
And regardless of anyone's personal opinions about that, you can't deny that it brings a huge amount of visibility
Oh, absolutely.
to the project and gives them access to a potentially massive and very loyal user base right from the start.
And what's particularly interesting is how cost-effective that marketing is.
Okay.
Because the media attention that this association brings, it generates a level of awareness
Yeah.
that would normally cost a fortune in advertising.
Millions of dollars.
Exactly.
Wow. And even just this initial airdrop, it's already making headlines.
Yeah, it's definitely attracting attention.
It is.
Now, the timing of this airdrop is also really interesting
It is.
because it's happening while Congress is debating stablecoin regulations.
Right.
So it's almost like they're proactively showing that they're ready to comply with these new rules.
Like they're ahead of the game.
Exactly. They're signaling their intention to operate within the evolving regulatory landscape.
And it seems like they're trying to avoid some of the problems that have plagued past airdrops. Like, bots getting in there and taking a huge chunk of the tokens.
That's right. They seem to be focusing on creating a fair distribution
Right.
and making the eligibility criteria very clear.
Okay.
So they're learning from past mistakes
yeah.
and making sure that real users benefit.
I like that.
Yeah.
So if we were to kind of sum all of this up,
Okay.
it seems like this USD1 airdrop, it's a really well thought out move
No doubt.
on a lot of different levels.
Mm-hmm.
We've got the technical validation. They're using it as a brilliant marketing tool.
Yeah,
They're leveraging a very well-known brand to their advantage.
absolutely.
They're getting ahead of the regulatory curve,
Mm-hmm.
and they're really focusing on building a community through this fair distribution.
Exactly. It's a multi-layered approach.
It really is.
And when you zoom out and look at the bigger picture,
yeah.
the USD1 airdrop becomes a really strong example of how to launch a project.
In the crypto space.
Exactly. It shows how to combine technical expertise with clever marketing and an understanding of the regulatory landscape.
And not forgetting about the user experience.
Absolutely, because in the end, it's all about the users.
It is. And this whole thing, it really makes you think
About what?
about, what other business strategies
Okay.
from outside the crypto world could be adapted and applied
Right.
to this constantly changing industry.
It's an interesting question to think about.
It really is. So
Mm.
thanks for taking this deep dive with me.
You're welcome.
It's been really insightful.
Glad to hear it.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Take care.
You too. Bye.